You could start maybe a managerial role with a 50 lakhs plus, or it could be a 80 lakhs or a 1 crore plus.
They start with 11 to 15, and slowly as you progress on a basic of work you can expect 20 to 25.
When I started my career around 25 years back in the fashion field, I was being paid 6,000.
Hi, this is Vrishti. I'm from KAGR. It's an edtech upskilling platform. What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living?
So I run this Fashion Business Council in the name of IFBEC, that's the International Fashion Business Exchange Council. There basically we have all the fashion entrepreneurs on board where we try to upskill them, we get all the fashion business knowledge to them and opportunities how they can network with the like-minded people and grow their business.
I work at Deloitte USI in Mumbai, Powai. In Deloitte, I'm part of an innovation team. So our Deloitte US is our stakeholders. So we use all the different latest innovations, latest technologies. So we try to incorporate them and how we can use them in the existing process to make it more efficient, make it accurate, make it cost friendly. So currently I'm using a platform which uses generative AI. So as you know, it's a buzzword right now. So we're using generative AI different in the process where Deloitte is already working. So how we can make it more efficient and how we can make their work easy. So that's currently we are basically working on.
I work for Dell. My name is Sridhar and I'm based in Mumbai. My role is essentially sales around the infrastructure business.
How do you get into this?
So I did my MBA from Goa Institute of Management. From there, we had a campus placement at Deloitte and they had come to a campus. So there were like 3 rounds of campus. So we had one case study round. They had given us a case study. So we had to solve it and present it within like next 3 hours and submit them a proper PPT. And then there was a first shortlist. And then we had like 3 rounds of interviews. The interviews are regarding your CV mostly and what profile they have on the JD they had submitted based on that. And the final interview was taken by the business leader regarding HR and the different process.
So I've been in the fashion industry since 20 years. I've been into NIFT and done my sustainability from the IIT. And post that, having been there in the industry since this many years, I understand that the challenge areas is where the fashion industry didn't have an ecosystem for itself. They were all working as an individual, but if we work in a collaboration, there could be much more opportunity for each one of them. Especially after COVID, there were many of the experienced designers who were working with us earlier in time. They had shut down on the business completely. So that was the pain area that I got to my awareness, and that is where this started.
Long journey, 20 years back it started. I was electrical engineering graduate then. So I was a desktop engineer, started my work over there. Then slowly graduated into data center. I was fixing high-end storage systems. From then I further upskilled myself, moved into pre-sales, consulting, did multiple roles, multiple markets in western part of India. And then joined in Locus. I started in HCL Infosystems, joined in Locus as a pre-sales consultant for the region. And the role was primarily around building solutions, infrastructure solutions. If you remember then, the IRCTC portal was not very fast, not up to the mark. So somebody has gone and architected the whole thing in the back end, written a few changes in the application, changed the infrastructure. So modernizing the infrastructure is what we generally say. It's common across the industry. Part of Dell now, I've done multiple markets. It's been a long journey.
If somebody wants to start in the fashion industry, what are the skills or education that they need to have?
So fashion comes more with a passion. So where you feel that you are creative, so you think of become a fashion designer. And someone who dresses well thinks that they want to become a fashion designer. But fashion as a whole industry has many more areas to it. So it has merchandising to it. It has, of course, the designing part to it. There is a lot of creative aspects to fashion. So do visit the institutes, the topmost institutes. There is NIFT, there is Pearl, there is ISTE, and many more. Do explore the opportunities that's there for you and then decide that where you want to be in the fashion field.
The good thing is, keep aside the rumors because a lot of people think that MNCs are firing. I would not deny the fact, but then also there are equally good opportunities for good candidates. What you essentially need is, you need to be good on your graduation. Especially if you're getting into sales, MBA degree would be highly appreciable. Companies like Dell or Equivalent would, the starting position could be an inside sales, which is typically, it could start for somebody like a fresher or a 6 months in an experience. Salaries could be, I'm not across the numbers very thoroughly, but upwards of around 10-12 lakhs plus on a yearly basis. That's where they could start with. Most importantly, we would look for people who are very confident, people who are expressive, they know their stuff. Otherwise, it's all about product selling. So you learn as the way it goes.
So basic skills like you need to know PowerPoint and Excel thoroughly, and you need to understand the way how you can present a data. Like when you're presenting a strategy, you need to know the principles like the Minto principle, how you can present a whole chunk of case study or whole chunk of solution in a proper defined way. So the stakeholders or the client you're pitching to, they're able to understand easily. And I'm also working in the product side, so you need to have little knowledge about the latest technologies like what generative AI, what OpenAI, what ChatGPT, which is currently so power, is doing. So have good knowledge of that and updating on the latest technology and trends of the company, which really helps you to get to the big fours, because that's what they look for.
What are the different fields in IT that one can start out?
Trust me, it has become much more wider. 20 years back, when we were starting in IT, it was either deployment. You could be a break fix engineer, you could be a software programmer, you could be a coder, or you could be, maybe if you're lucky enough, graduate into sales. But I think today the opportunities are much more open. The market is very, very vast. Within IT, there are a lot many things that you could do today. Somebody could practice compliance. Somebody could practice security. I'm sure all of us know cybersecurity is something which is right at our door. It's not something which is only limited to corporates. So today, the entry barrier to get into IT is not necessarily that you need to be a BE bachelor or a BTech in IT. Not necessary. I'll give you an example. I met a person in one of the Ganesh Puja festival last year. This guy is second year in engineering and he wants to be an ethical hacker, and he has practiced already. He hacked something and because he was motivated to be an ethical hacker, he gave it back. The guy is not even a graduate. Yeah. So the entry point is just open. The generation today is exposed to lot many things than what we were. The awareness, in terms of awareness. So they're much more aware. So the entry point could be anything.
So you need to be like, what side of strategy you want to go? Do you want to go specific to some sector, or do you want to do a general management strategy? If you're particular to a sector, you have a good knowledge of that, be SME of that sector, and then learn about how your strategy is presented, how you a case studies or a set is given, how do you present in a presentable way to a client. So that knowledge does help. So you can solve case studies. There are a lot of case studies online. You can help them use guesstimates too. There are a lot of guesstimates are asked during the interviews. So those helps when you're applying for a strategy role.
Connecting with fashion as an industry, of course, designing comes very at ease to them. Then there is merchandising. Then there is image consulting. Then there is window display, creative directors. So there is this movie as an industry, where is the whole creative and this thing. Then there is boutique, which is very retail kind of a space. Then is wholesale kind of a space. Then there is manufacturers and exporters. So there are different space where you see that you fit in well. So opportunity is huge. It's just that where you relate with it the most is where it lies in.
And someone who is at a leadership or a management role, how much does a package is awarded to them?
See, a leadership role could be, in average, a leadership role could be anything up north of, say, 70 lakhs or plus, or 60 lakhs or plus. The range could vary depending on what leadership. Is it a regional leadership or a national leadership? Because when you say a management position, from a sales point of view, it is more of a leadership role. The spectrum becomes that much more bigger. It could go, you could start maybe a managerial role with a 50 lakhs plus, or it could be a 80 lakhs or a 1 crore plus. So it completely depends on the scope.
Fashion is very unorganized and unstructured platform. Someone who wants to just start with a career, like when I started my career around 25 years back in the fashion field, I was being paid 6,000 as a remuneration. Now if I see, I still get people who charge like 15,000 to start with their career. But someone who has that kind of skill set and would expect a 45,000, 50,000 could be an easy save. But it all depends on what is the confidence you carry, what is the creativity you have, and where you want to reach. So it's the clarity of the role that you want to play with a company will help you get the right kind of package.
So it depends on like works you have. Like if you are Deloitte, like if you're any of the big four, these have like comparatively packages. If you're starting with the MBA analyst level, they are giving like around, they start with 11 to 15, and slowly as you progress on a basic of workx, you can expect 20 to 25 in any of the big fours.
One last question. If you have to give one piece of advice to the students entering in this industry, what would that be?
So the fashion industry is growing very well, and there is metaverse that we talk about. We talk about a lot of technology, but the industry is incomplete without a traditional approach and the new approach. So we need to see a right melange and amalgamation of the conservative and the new generation coming together. That's one thing. And second is when it comes to India, India is very rich with culture. It has got weavers, it has got, if you see from north to south, there's a lot of heritage and culture that we carry. So when you're planning to do this in this field, please do see that how we can utilize it to the maximum so that they don't die. And the third thing is as a fashion industry, we add to a lot of waste, which is not been spoken of. So we add like 43% of the landfill is filled with fashion waste. So please do see into an aspect that how is that we can redirect this waste, because that's a big and a huge issue. So please do think on the sustainability front.
I'll say know where you want to go, role you want to know, and on internet you have a lot of knowledges, and be very precise in your head where you want to apply and work according to that, like what interviews they want, what skills they're looking for that role, and be thorough with it and just go for that.
Don't get bogged down, buddy. World is full of possibilities. I am an electrical engineer. The first thing I did in my job was nothing around electrical. I don't even practice what I studied. So life and world can bring a lot of open possibilities. There are many things which are surrounding this generation, and all of us rather. You have got so many things which slices your time out. See if you can gain those time back and focus on the priorities, number one. Number two, don't get bogged down with things not happening. Trust me, at your age or at current generation age, when we were in those eras, the opportunities were that much more slim. Today, the opportunities are more. I'm not saying the opportunity will knock everyone's door, but you got to grab it, and hence you need to prepare for it.